Alright, so here we go, guys. I paused the video at 5:52. I just made my first back with Shaco. I picked up Madrid's boots and a longsword and a couple potions. Normally on the first back with Shaco, you'll have around 775 gold. You want to get your Madrids and your boots. However, with the kill and the extra gold and a little bit of extra time, we were also able to afford a longsword and a couple potions. Now, when you come back out of base, you're going to either want to start at double golems or white camp, so you can progress in a linear fashion and the most efficient fashion through your jungle. Where you could, let's say you start at double golems, you could go to wraiths, you could go to wolf camp, you could go to white camp. You could get all 4 jungle camps. The other reason why you start either at double golems or at white camp is it always gives you the option of whether or not to gank before or after you do one of these jungle camps. So if I were to go to double golems, I could decide before I even do the double golems whether or not there was a good opportunity to gank Rise, or after I finish the double golems, I can decide whether or not to gank Rise. Now, if there's no opportunity, I simply go down to Wraith Camp. I can see if there's any easy opportunities mid. If not, I simply proceed over to Wolves and then to White Camp, and I have given 4 more feral stacks to my Madrids while being very efficient in the jungle. And this is very important for Shaco. Shaco doesn't have the fastest clear time. It's also relevant to other junglers as well. You'll actually see a pretty decent increase in win rate just by being this jungle efficient. Now in this case, because there's about a minute 15 or so until our red buff is up, we can't do 4 jungle camps and then hit our golems. And if we started at double golems, there would be 2 jungle camps that we could do efficiently, and then we would have some dead time in between with our red buff. So in order to make this as efficient as possible, we are instead going to head down. I said normally we start at white camp or double golems, but if you don't have enough time to get 4 camps, it will be actually the most efficient thing we can do is start at wolves here, work our way to raise, then either help out a teammate or do another camp and do red buff. So I'm going to unpause the video. Now the other reason, guys, why we need to be really efficient with Shaco is that we want to hit level 6 by the time we get our second buff. And after you hit level 6, you always want to do dragon with Shaco. You want to try to go solo dragon. So a lot of action going on throughout the map there. As you can see, everybody's kind of pushed in now. There's nowhere to gank. So if I had headed over to try to help an ally right away, I would just be wasting my time. Alright, so now you can see it's 6:37. We still have about 7:10 red buffs going to come up, so we do our Wraith Camp. And we have time to get to our double golems. Now that's going to make us a few seconds late into our red buff, but we're going to be just fine. We're close enough to where I don't think he would finish red buff before I got over there, and then that Jarvan would be in really big trouble if he wanted to invade. Now, if Swain went missing here at some time or headed off in this direction, I would definitely put a trinket ward in this bush. Always be careful if top lane or mid lane is missing while you're doing your second buff, and you don't know where the jungler is as well. A lot of the time they're coming to kill you. So just be careful of that. Alright. We've just taken our red buff. We're at level 6. Red buff helps you solo dragon, and obviously level 6 is also required to solo dragon. Madrids with attack speed Shaco is definitely good enough to solo dragon. Now, something I want to point out here, guys. I Q from this bush. Check this bush just in case there's a pink or a ward. When I want my Q, let me pause this real quick. I want my Q. If I Q from this bush through this bush, I don't want to become visible again until I get out of range of any potential ward here. The reason being, if they see me walk over this ward and see me walk toward Dragon Pit, they may suspect that I'm going to do Dragon, or at the very least, it could draw attention if Jarvan was somewhere around here to head down bot out of concern and thinking he needs to counter gank. I want to do this Dragon completely uncontested, so I don't want them to see me. Sometimes they will ward this bush up here, but it's not that common. And even if they did, by the time you come back out of visibility, if you've done this right and get in this little nook corner right here, you will not be spotted. All right, so you pop your ultimate, pop the box, especially with red buff. I'm running 35% attack speed on Shaco along with Madrid's. Should be an easy dragon. So we'll hit play. I rotate a little bit of aggro when I solo the dragon with my clone just to keep my clone alive longer because I want my clone to continue to do damage to him. There we go. Pop the box again. And we took the dragon. If I thought that was going to be a very closely contested dragon, I would have timed the Shiv exactly at the same time with Smite to get extra Smite damage. Just to try to make sure I secure that dragon. Alright. Something, I'm going to pause the video again. Notice that as I finished dragon, I had an option to start at white camp. Even though I'm not coming from base, same principles apply. You can start from white, work your way in a linear fashion as you stack your Feral Flare, white, wolves, wraiths, double golems. However, before I did white camp, I decided to jump over this wall because I see an easy pickup before I start. So we get a nice little shutdown kill for ourselves. And now we are just going to go secure buffs, farm the jungle, etc. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cover some more areas of jungle efficiency later, but I hope that covers some of the basics.